Hi everyone. As we are wrapping up the semester, we need to talk about what the next steps are for internships and what your requirements are. So first thing you should do is check the spreadsheet in Blackboard on what is needed. The spreadsheet has this information for most sites, but not all sites. Next, check with your supervisor on how information is collected. This is important because some sites collect it directly from you, and some sites require Towson to submit a form saying you have done what you were supposed to do. This step dictates what you need to do next. This is how this leads to step 3. Do you need a Castle Branch account? If the site collects the information directly from you, or directly from the background or fingerprinting organization, you do not need a Castle Branch account. However, if Towson is involved, you do need a Castle Branch account, and we'll talk about why that is true when we get to looking at Castle Branch. There is a timeline on when you need to get these things accomplished. Getting a background check, getting medical records, getting fingerprinted, getting drug tested, these all take at least 2 weeks to accomplish. So when you go to get a background check or fingerprinting, the results are not the next day. If you need to get medical documentation together, that typically takes at least 2 weeks. So you need to be mindful of that because all of that needs to be turned in a specific time period if you want to start internship on time. So let's look at the Blackboard page. So this may or may not be your exact page for your internship process, but the steps are all the same. So once you have interviews, and again, if you're in a fall class, this might be the date, but if you're in a spring class, of course, the dates are different. On week 8, accepting the offer, this occurs when you have been offered a position. So once you have been offered an internship, you must have this form completed. You can complete much of it yourself, but it does have to be filled out also by the site. So you could fill out your name, the supervisor's name, all of this could be filled out for you, by you. You have to identify if this is full-time, and it says please highlight or circle what you're doing. Is it full-time, 3/4 time, or half-time? Then they need to identify if this is fully face-to-face or on-site. Is it hybrid, virtual, or fully virtual? And note, half-time internships cannot be fully virtual. Then they need to indicate the hours. How many hours are you working a week? We need specific details because we need to make sure before you start that the hours will fulfill the credit requirement and that you're working an appropriate amount of hours, not too few and not too many. Even if you have a virtual internship, something must be given as to what is expected. This is critical for you and this site so that everyone is on the same page. For example, do they want to meet with you every Monday morning at 9 a.m.? Or do they want to meet with you weekly and time to be determined? Need to be available 9 to 12, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for meetings. There needs to be something here because virtual does not mean you work whenever you want. It means that you're not in an office setting. Then they have to fill out everything what's going on in your during the semester. And they typically do all of this. They determine what is needed and what is not. Again, this helps you confirm what you need to do. Once the placement agreement is completely filled out, you sign it, and the agency supervisor signs it, and you scan it back into Blackboard. You can also take photographs of it, but it must be submitted back into Blackboard with signatures. The next step, once you have accepted that and it's agreed by the person in charge of internships, they accept it, then the next thing you must do legally is to sign a waiver. The document before can be signed electronically by typing in names, but this document must have an actual signature. And this is a legal document required by Towson in order for you to participate in internship. Again, this must have a real signature on it, not a type signature. More than likely, the site where you go is going to also have something similar for you to sign. And so the last step in this is looking at the onboarding. And so when you're doing onboarding, the video for onboarding is what you're watching now. And then there is an onboarding sign-off sheet. And you sign off this. Again, it can be typed, or you put your initials with each statement, but we must know that you understand the onboarding process. Because if you do not do what you are required to do, you may actually forfeit your internship. So I will also have times when we will talk about it, and those will be posted also. So at the very bottom is an onboarding folder, and this folder is important because it tells you what you need to do. So if you're ready for onboarding, it tells you the kind of things you need to consider. It tells you if you need a Castle Branch account. And then here just tells you what school systems typically want. And then if we have information on specific sites, it's listed here. So again, if the system or site collects the information directly from you or directly from the organization doing whatever's being done, you do not need a Castle Branch account. But if they want something from Towson, then you do need a Castle Branch account. And Castle Branch is a place where you put all of your information. And then what happens is Towson goes in and they actually, we don't look at it, we just look to see if it's completed. Castle Branch has trained people on staff, and those trained people will help you because they will verify whether things are completed or not and whether you've passed or not. If you do not pass something like a drug screen or a background check, your site will be notified and you and the site can work it out. This tells you that what Castle Branch account you need. It tells you how to get the Castle Branch and how to work in Castle Branch. All of your Castle Branch information should be in there at least 3 weeks before you begin internship, because most sites want to see it at least 2 weeks before you begin internship. Again, before you buy a Castle Branch account, if you want to ask to confirm that you really need it, please reach out to the supervisor of internships at Towson University. So last semester, some people decided not to get this account. They got a cheaper account, and it wasn't the account they needed, which was problematic. So make sure you follow the directions. And one final comment, I will be posting times that I am available to talk to you about the whole onboarding process. Thanks for watching, and make sure you reach out if you get confused.